morning, beautiful people. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are continuing our talk on this subject. What subject is it, Miller? I wanted you to get up this morning. I wanted you to start thinking legacy. I wanted you to start thinking your legacy. Now you have to remember, guys, you are responsible for how you will be remembered. Let me say it again. You are responsible for how you will be remembered. Now, most people don't think about this, but we need to start thinking about it. The truth of the matter is, we don't have forever. Okay? We don't have forever. And what we want to be, what I teach my clients is you want to be responsible. You want to be responsible for the life that you've been given. You want to be responsible to manage your potential. You want to be responsible with the time that God has given you to ensure that you have left your mark on the planet. So this morning we're diving into the subject matter at hand, and it's all about leaving a legacy, nurturing future generations, setting up Sister Rosalind, setting up Sister Jocelyn, setting up Sister Cynthia, setting up your life in a way where you could say with confidence, I am establishing myself to have made a difference in the world. Made a difference in the world, in your children, made a difference in your world when it comes to your career, make a difference in your world in regards to where you had chosen to live, made a difference in the world with the people you decided to do life with. Miss Jocelyn, I ain't never leaving this message. Miss Cynthia, I ain't never leaving this message. You know why? Everything that I'm reading, I'm learning that there are so many unfulfilled individuals. And the truth of the matter is, we have no clue when our last day will be here. We have no clue when it's over. It's over. And I want it to be said, he lived a full life. Jesus lived a full life and left this world at 33. Okay? Look at Dr. Martin Luther King. When he left this world, he wasn't that old. So a lot of people, here's the deal. A lot of people want a long life. But the question is, did you live a well-lived life? Did you live a well-lived life? So I wrote this down again, and I thought it's worth sharing with you this morning. Please tag somebody. Please share this with somebody, because what you're going to do, you're going to wake up the greatness within them, and you're going to remind them that they should not be casual with the life that they've been given. They should not be just going through the motion, and then they need to evaluate and assess how they've been doing life. For if they've been settling, they've been doing life wrong, and they want to start disconnecting themselves from that which is hurting them. Whatever you find that's moving you away from you becoming your best self, you're going to have to help yourself like someone who is addicted to a behavior or have a practice that's sabotaging them. So when you start to realize your circle is limiting, when you start to realize your daily habits is limiting, when you start to realize your mindset is what's been keeping you back, please know you can change that. You can change that. Don't go nowhere. I'm going to pray for you before we leave. And I'm only going to be here for about 10 minutes. So please don't leave. But in addition, I want you to tag somebody. Share this with somebody. Allow them to know Coach Ricardo Miller is on, and he is doing his pep talk for the early morning. Get up, rise, and shine, and declare, I'm not average. Can I get about 5 of you to put that in the comment section right now? I am not average. So when you show up today, walk with some pep in your step. When you show up today, walk in there with a smile that is anointing, that can destroy yokes and remove burden. When you walk and you show up today, make sure that you are a light. You are a light in a dark world. You are a kingdom representative. You're not only living in your head, you are living in your present. You are showing up and you are showing out. Can I get somebody to declare with me that I'm here today for a reason? I am not average. So here's the deal. Look out, world. I'm coming up. I'm coming up, and I'm going to do what I need to do today to step it up so God can be glorified. So here's what you're going to do. Number one, I need you, before I go to my 3 points, I want you to grab a hold of this. Write your obituary, then work backward to live it. I referred to this yesterday, and I really want somebody to get this in your head. I've been starting to do this because I realized time is my most valuable resource. I mean, I don't have forever. You don't have forever. So how would you want to be remembered? How would you want to be remembered? I need you to get a hold of that. You want to start thinking, how will I be remembered? Don't be afraid to ask yourself that question. Don't be afraid to look at how you've been living up to this point. And whatever you see you're doing that's not working for you, make some adjustment. Coach Miller said, make some adjustment. Can you make some adjustment? Yes. You know somebody who needs to make some adjustment because the route they're heading is not the route of destiny. Tag them right now. Share this on your Facebook page. Share it in your WhatsApp group. Somebody needs to know they're not average. They're too talented to be settling for where they are. They're too gifted. They got too much going for them. Yet they're finding themselves getting up out of bed, dreading to go to work, don't like how they're living, don't like who they're becoming. That's not the way to do it. So write your obituary, then work backward to live it. Identify, okay, this is what I want to be said of me. Now I need to work towards making my life to reflect that. Okay, I'm going to start working towards making that. And somebody said, well, I got a lot of work to do. That's okay. I have a lot of work to do as well. See, it's not about comparing yourself. It's about completing yourself. Let me say that again. It's not about comparing yourself. It's about completing yourself. You were born to do something in life that leaves nutrition for the seed of the next generation to take root in and grow. If people cannot receive life from you, from the legacy you leave when you die, then you really did not live effectively. When you die, the question is, would others live because you died? Tashika, you heard that? When you die, would others live because you died? I was listening to Miles Monroe this morning. Miles Monroe has been gone now more than 10 years, but I'm learning to live off of Miles Monroe's principles, even though he is dead and gone. That's powerful. That's powerful. So the question I ask for you today is, if people cannot receive life from the legacy you leave when you die, then you really did not live effectively. So what I want you to do is I want you to remember these 3 things. Tashik, I want you to remember these 3 things. Jocelyn, go ahead and tag somebody. Share this, guy. Somebody needs to know this because you're not average. You're not settling. You're not going to keep going through the motion and doing the same old thing and expecting a different result. Number 1, purposeful living is effective living. Okay? Purposeful living is effective living. Who's getting that down? You need that in your spirit. Align your actions with a vision that goes beyond your personal gain, impacting others positively. You start looking at, how am I living? Purposeful living is effective living. Okay? Now, there are a lot of people. I'm watching them, man. I'm watching them. And I'm watching them. They know me. I know them. They don't like who they are. They see my book, they won't buy the book. They see my message, they won't embrace the message because they don't want to do the work. They don't want to take personal responsibility for becoming the person that they were created to be. All of us, listen to me, people, all of us have access to our deliverer or deliverers. All of us have access to the one that God has called to deliver us. Listen, guys, if you need to take control of your finances, we all have access to someone who can help us. If you need to grow spiritually, we all have access to someone who can help us. If you need to take control of your health and fitness, you have access to someone who can help you. The problem is, are you all listening to me? The problem is we become familiar, okay? And we prefer to look afar off. We prefer to look afar off to find somebody who would sort of speak to our level of comfort and our preferred way of hearing truth. Sometimes we don't even want to hear the truth. You want to be selective when you're simply trying to be delivered. Okay? Don't be selective when you're trying to be delivered. If you are blind and you are Saul and you are on the road to Damascus and God tells you to go to Ananias' house, go to Ananias' house. Your cousin is the one who's financially secure. You broke. Call your cousin up and say, I didn't call to borrow money. I call to learn the principles that you have learned that has gotten you so financially secure. You got a girlfriend in your phone. She has taken control of her destiny by managing her affairs. You are highly impressed by her, but you're not learning from her. That's called stuck on stupid. All of us have access of somebody who can help us, but oftentimes we get familiar. Purposeful living, write this down, guys. Purposeful living is effective living. In other words, I'm not just going to have anyone as my friend. I want to make sure I have people that will help me to live purposefully. I'm not just going to have anybody around me. I'm not going to just spend my money any kind of way. I'm just not going to get up in the morning any kind of way. I'm just not going to drive any kind of way. I'm just not going to sit any kind of way. I'm just not going to listen to anything. Lately, I decided I'm going to watch what I watch. In other words, I don't want to watch just anything, because purposeful living is effective living. Number two, generational impact. You got to remind yourself, I'm focusing my energy on the contribution I bring to the world. In other words, am I bringing value? Can you ask yourself honestly, am I bringing value to the world? Am I bringing, well, I go to work and I really don't even like this company. How long will you be at that job not liking the company? How long are you going to live where you are not paying attention to the reality that you can change to where you are, so the generation after you could see that mama lived the life to the fullest, daddy lived the life to the fullest, auntie lived the life to the fullest, uncle lived, neighbor lived the life to the fullest? Are you a representative in the earth for those who are watching? Are you an example? Are you reminded? Are you reflecting? Are you considering the fact that others are looking up to you? And the truth is, some of us are called to deliver others. But the problem is, we can't deliver others when we have not done the work to be delivered ourselves. Some people are hurting other people's destiny because they haven't captured their destiny. Let me say something that's deep, and I have to finish this talk. When you are out of place, it does not only affect you. Boy, that's powerful. Did y'all catch that just now? When you are out of place, that does not only affect you. Because we live in a very selfish world, we think selfishly and we think all about me. There are times I look at what I'm doing and I thought, I think you don't have to do that. But then I remind myself, less of me and more of him. And what is God inspiring me to do? So this is not about my feelings. This is about my purpose. This is not about what people think of me. This is what God is commanding me to be about. Now, people are going to have their opinions. There is not one person who made a difference in the book. Okay? Not one person who made a distinct difference in the book that made a contribution to humanity that's in the Bible that was not looked at crazy by people. So if you're still struggling with people's view of you, living purposefully, you are going to have a difficult time maximizing your potential. When you start thinking generational impact, you got to start thinking breaking generational curses. Let me say it again. When you start thinking generational impact, you have to also be thinking breaking generational curses. In other words, this bondage, this thing that has carried itself on in my family, that has been attached to my lineage, that's been around me and those who I love for a long time, somebody's got to break this thing. Hello. Somebody's got to break this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark the day that I've chosen to break it. Somebody got to declare it stops today. Procrastination stops today. Hello. Somebody got to say, listen, bad money management stops today. Somebody needs to say, listen, speaking my mind stops today. Hello? Watch this. Negatively talking to myself stops today. So, last but not least, life beyond death. Life beyond death. Ensure your contribution continues to nourish and inspires others long after you're gone. As I mentioned earlier, I love the late Dr. Miles Monroe, but here's the deal. He lives so well that even in death, he is still adding value to humanity. Boy, Miss Cynthia, that's powerful. Isn't that powerful? Listen, even in death, he lives so well that he is continuing to add value. There are some people, they're living and ain't adding value. I had to start evaluating my life, and I had to start looking at me. And when I started writing my obituary and made it a commitment, that's how I'm going to end. I looked at my end from where I was, and I made a commitment. This is how I'm going to start functioning. I want to make sure that, here's the deal, I live beyond death. In other words, when I'm gone, I could still be adding value to humanity through my book, through my videos, through all of the different types of services that we were able to establish. What about you? So the legacy we leave behind nourishes future generation. Live so well that you cannot be forgotten. Let me say it again. Live so well that you cannot be forgotten. We see that in Jesus Christ. We see that in Dr. Martin Luther King. We see that in Billy Graham. We see that in Miles Monroe. Will we see that in you? Somebody said, I don't want to refer myself to those great men. Who are you? You're a great woman. You're a great man. You got to learn how to realize that God did not place you here to fit in. God placed you here to stand out and to establish what he has placed in your heart to do within the earth. It may not be global. It may not be national. It may not even be city. But whatever it is, you need to put all of your efforts in doing what God has called you to do. I'm challenging you. Embrace who you are so God can be glorified. I'm Coach Ricardo Miller. I want to be the guy that challenges you every day. I want you to find me on social media. I don't have no side story to tell. I don't know. And listen, I'm creating a life I don't need a vacation from. I'm not teaching something I'm not trying to live every day. My greatest prayer, are y'all ready for this? My greatest prayer, Father God, help me to be the full manifestation of the life that I teach and the truth I discovered. Father God, help me to be the full manifestation of the message that I teach and the truth I discovered. In other words, I want to be one with what I've discovered. I want to be one with what I'm teaching. And I am pushing it out to humanity, but I'm living within it to ensure that I am who God says I am. Hello, somebody. I'm working on becoming all that I'm capable of being so God can be glorified. Hello, write that down today. I'm working on doing what needs to be done so God can be glorified. Can you testify of that in the comment section? I'm working on becoming all that I need to be so God can be glorified. Have a great day. I listen, if you enjoyed this, do me a favor and share this with somebody. Somebody needs to know. They need not settle. You are responsible for living a life so well that you establish yourself to you've lived so well that you leave a legacy for those who come after you to keep living off of the life you lived. God bless you. Bye-bye.